As we go through our lives, we all experience disappointment in people. And when that happens, we become disappointed. And our trust in that person gets broken. That is why when trust is broken, especially in our close relationship, it is difficult and there's questions that rises in our mind, such as, should I give this person another chance to restore trust? Should I? What if giving another opportunity only makes things worse? So in today's passage, we meet two men who faced exactly that question. Those two men were, of course, Paul and Barnabas. Mark abandoned Paul and Barnabas and went back to Jerusalem. What mattered to Paul was this. Mark had once walked away from his responsibility. And Paul, right now, cannot trust Mark whether he would do it again or not. Barnabas wanted to look at Mark's potential. They were both right. We frequently want to decide who is right and who is wrong. But many situations in our lives are not that simple. Yet, through all of these decisions and circumstances, what's important is God still works through us. In fact, Paul departed with Silas, while Barnabas departed with Mark. One team now became two. So as a result, God's work did not stop, even though they departed. In fact, the gospel spread further. So looking back, it is impossible to say that either Paul or Barnabas was completely right or completely wrong, because they are both right. But perhaps the most amazing part of the story is what God did to Mark. God transformed him. God restored his credibility. God raised him up into a trusted servant of Christ. Through today's passage, we find an answer to the question we asked at the beginning. The answer is not ultimately found to say what is right or wrong. So we entrust our decision to God. Because of God's grace, Barnabas and Paul and Mark, all of them walked the path of God. And in all that decision, God used all that decision to do good. So trust the God who continues to work through human weakness and conflict. So trust the God who restores failure and transforms not just them, but us into faithful servants.